to take down a foe. Shinjin tells Riin to finish Jiren off as he stands staring at Jiren on the floor. Sarah uses her weapon to stab Shinjin from behind and tells Riin if he thinks he is in a position to hesitate when taking a life, and charges at him with a punch. She's fast, Riin says as he dodges all of Sarah's attacks. As he is about to get away, Jiren grips his leg, and Sarah starts attacking him continuously. Riin wonders that no one can move that fast as he receives another heavy punch from Sarah, but he still holds on to the ball. Interesting, says Yora, who has been spectating the match from the start, refusing to give up or let go of the ball despite Jiren urging him to while they are all focused on Riin. Shinjin, who has been laying for a while, stands up and pulls out the weapon he was stabbed with. Why do you fight? Why do you desire to survive when you know not of what you have to lose? Yora asks Riin, who replies saying he wants the truth, he wants to find his reason to live. Sarah and Jiren quickly grab Riin as he jumps off the platform with the ball. They call him a dumbass and tell him to at least jump off without the ball. Riin asks why they want to live. What the hell are you blabbering about? Like I have shit to say to a runt like you, Sarah angrily replies, and before they all knew what is going on, Shinjin catches Jiren off guard and stabs him. Jiren apologies to Sarah, who stares in shock as he goes down. Shinjin tells her she should have finished him off. Sarah quickly charges at Shinjin and starts landing punches on him. Riin's plan to jump off the platform was so Shinjin can get back into the game. Now that the tides have turned, he still doubts if he can do it. I'm scared, that's why I want to live, Jiren says. None of us knows much about ourselves. I'm supposed to have 3 children that are searching for me and a wife that died years ago, yet none of that means anything to you. He continues and also tells Riin that it means nothing to him either, which is the worst part. In the end, none of us have anything to fight for, he says. Yora announces that they have 3 minutes left. Riin says Sarah can't win because they have too many points. Shinjin tells Sarah that it's over, but she fires back and asks Shinjin if he wants her to kill herself. Might be more painless than whatever God has in store for you, Shinjin replies, but she is insistent on fighting and also tells them that if she can kill them within the remaining 3 minutes then she'll live. Sarah continuously charges at Riin, who is analyzing her moves as he dodges them. She almost gets him, but he blocks the attack with the ball. Riin explains how her power works to Shinjin. Sarah tearfully calls out Yora, asking why he is doing all this and also saying she doesn't want to die like Jiren. And she begins powering after Yora announces they have 1 minute left. When hanging on a cliff of life and death, that desperation brings humans to a new height. Yora says as Riin and Shinjin stare at Sarah with shock as she powers up. Riin begins to wonder how she got stronger all of a sudden, hoping they'd be able to hold out the remaining 1 minute. Sarah charges at Riin and hits him, and he falls to the ground, admitting to himself that she is strong as her weapon goes through his chest. As she is about to finish him off, Shinjin swiftly cuts off her right arm. She yells out in pain and glares at Shinjin, who tells her he can't let her kill his partner, and she asks why he didn't use his power all along, with him telling her he finds it best to keep his trump card hidden, unlike her, who is throwing everything on the table in the first minute. Riin watches as Sarah charges at Shinjin, who finishes her off with his sword full of flames. After the first round, I thought I was strong, but after witnessing Sarah and Shinjin, I understand now there are far more monsters in this game. I can't go like this, not in this damned game, killed by someone I don't even know. Sarah cries out that someone as weak as Riin shouldn't get to live. Shinjin tells her sorry as he stands in front of the kneeling Sarah, who is in tears. She tells him her brother is missing and he says he will find him and slashes her head off. Well done, you are the victors of the second round, Yora says, giving them applause. Riin's wounds start healing, including his injured arm. Shinjin commends Riin, telling him he did better than he thought in his jumping off the platform move. Worked for them, but he shouldn't try it again. Wait, you bastard. Riin snaps at Yora, who tries to interrupt them. He walks to Sarah's body, brought out a paper, and reads out, Sarah Jones, 18 years old. Shinjin tries to stop him. In search of her brother, Riin continues and tells Shinjin to remember her name since he made his promise. But Shinjin says it's a promise to a dead woman, and Riin tells him nevertheless it's a promise, and if they run into her younger they will save him. Shinjin tells him he acts too righteous for a game about death, and if they meet her younger brother they will like to have to kill him. Riin walks to Jiren's body and brought out a note which says Jiren Kuro, 80 years old, with 3 kids looking for him and a wife that's been dead for 10 years. He volunteered for the game. As he finishes reading, he starts wondering why someone would want to be in the game, and what the world outside the game is like. Shinjin interrupts him, saying he doesn't want to stay there longer than he has to, and he asks Yora to get on with it. Before they went to the next round, Yora hands a trinket and a cross to Shinjin and Riin respectively, and Riin meets himself in a new place. Riin sees a little boy standing, and an older girl runs toward the boy and calls out, Riin, guess what mom gave me? Showing him a cross which she calls a cross of God, the same cross Yora handed out to Riin earlier. That's me, Riin says, watching the kids as they converse in front of him. Ikika, Riin repeats after the little Riin calls her name. That's her, Riin says, and runs after them, telling them to wait. but she glares at him and asks who he is, and then everything crumbles. Riin asks Yora what he did to them, as he and Shinjin reappear in front of Yora. Yora tells them he gave them a gift and a reason to live, with Riin stating that his reason to live is his sister and he could feel she was all he had in this world. Riin grabs Yora on the collar and asks him if the memory is real. Yora taps him and flew off, and he replies that only he can decide if it's real or not, and also warns him not to touch him again. Shinjin tells Riin to save it, asking him if he can beat Yora, and Riin stays quiet. You should be grateful. You are one step closer to the answers you seek. Isn't that what you seek? Yora asks them. Shinjin says that's enough and drags Riin with him. Where are we now? Riin asks as they meet themselves in a castle. They see an armored lady sitting. Great, more visitors, she says with a smirk on her face.